Alright, in this video you're going to learn how to grade the students in White 1 specifically. We're going to be talking about white students and the tests and assignments that go in this level. How to assess students in TPR. Well, to start off with, I'd like to say that this video is only going to cover lessons from 1 to 20, which are the first few lessons that you do along with personalized stories. Let's see how it works. What is assessment? What is the concept of assessment in TPR? Well, according to James Asher, he says that assessment is constant. You don't move on to the next step until you know that most of your students understand the current commands. All right, so you understand that assessment is something that's done on the formative basis. We're going to work here on some formative and summative kind of feedback, but you understand that in TPR, assessment is something that's done constantly. So as a means to evaluate the students, one of the first things you want to focus on is on the Quizlet Sets. We have Quizlet Sets 40 total. Actually there will be 80 because there's the sentences as well. So you should go ahead and get the students to work on Quizlet tests. If you don't know how to do that, ask your coordinator, because he's got videos that shows you how to some other videos that I've recorded that shows you how to create Quizlet tests and how the students come up with the tests, combine lessons, and then take the quizzes. So from lessons 1 to 10, you go ahead, after you've done a lesson 10, then you go ahead and ask them to do the first test. And after they're done with lesson 20, you ask them to do the second test. And so on you go. The test should include sentences as well. So it should be lessons 1 through 10, like the lessons with the words only, and also the lessons with the sentences as well. Okay? So next activity, next assignment. All these are going to go to the grade book, to the report card. Next, we have Edmodo. You guys, if you don't know how to use Edmodo, you can contact your coordinator to watch the videos on Edmodo. But on Edmodo, what the students have to do is basically all the activities that you assign them, and those activities should be taken to the grade book. All right. So that's basically it, what you do in terms of tests and assignments on TPR. Okay, so you bring those assignments to the report card and put them there. So quizzes on the stories, story writing exercises, quizzes on the web that you send. All the grades that you get from Edmodo should go to the grade book as well. Okay. Teachers can manage, for example, let's say that one student was not in class and therefore the exercise that he should do is really inextricably related to the class content. And so he missed that single exercise. You could always send some extra quizzes, some extra resources to him so that he can study, and then even send quizzes, but don't add the quizzes to the grade book, or just send him quizzes that he can practice and then take the actual quiz. Another thing you could do is to give him another exercise, and then based on his points on the other exercise, you can just go ahead and give him the points on the grade book on Edmodo, because you can change the grades on the grade book even if the student has already finished the exercise, but you can always change the grades on the grade book. So yeah, it's really flexible in terms of the grade book on Edmodo, and you could totally use it and make it flexible and use it to meet your needs as a teacher. So that's about it for Edmodo. So all those things should go in Edmodo as well. Oh, also the song worksheets and whatever other worksheets that you post. And then in terms of everything you grade on Edmodo, that you use as assignment, as assessment for students, there's like extra quizzes that you just send for them to practice. But the ones you assign and the ones you send as grades, these should go on the Edmodo report card, right? Then we come to the next assignment, a next requirement here, which are the command lists. The students have to write command lists because they're extremely important to help out on building their writing, right? So you ask students to write lists of 20 commands, lessons 1, 2, 3, and then you ask them to write 5 commands, and then lessons 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, and 6, and ask them to write 7, and so on, until ask them to write 20 commands, and then up until lesson 20. When it comes to lesson 20, they should write a command list of 30. They should write 30 commands on the list. Then they should write a command list with 100 commands at the end of the year, and when they finish the 40 lessons. Okay. So that list should be taken by the teacher, collected. That could go in Edmodo or it could be in paper. But then the teacher has to go and correct it and make all the corrections possible and help out the student with whatever he needs, and then get that map of the student knowledge so far and give him a grade from 1 to 10 on that map, on that list, on that command list. That we have 28 units on Duolingo the students have to study. So as you can see here, this picture represents 1 unit. It's like basic 1 is 1 unit. So they have to finish 28 units on Duolingo for the whole year. Okay. So the students have to complete those and send the print screens to you as they go ahead and complete the units, right? As they complete the units, they send the print, and you go and put these prints, save them, of course, because then you're gonna put these prints on the report card as well. Okay, they have to be all golden like this, because that means they are full, and that means the students has been practicing on those important units. Okay, so there's 28 units. For example, if student, just to get an average here, if this is for the whole year, okay, not just for the first semester. I said that we're going to talk about the first semester only, but there's no way of just dividing it, like saying 28 units. Okay, then we're going to get 14 units for each semester. But then the students could do 7 units in one semester and then do all the rest on another semester, all the other 21 lessons on 21 units on another semester. It could be totally done. Students have to adapt to their, time frame and time availability. So if the students study 3 units a month, they will be done in time and do even more, because they will be doing 3 units a month. If you just count the months that they study, they would do 48 lessons, I guess. 50 lessons. So that would be that would be way more than 32 lessons, I think. So it'll be way more than they should do, right? Which is 28 lessons. Just if they study 3 units a month, which is very little. Then finally, we have the TPR final test, which is based on the TPR homework book that is available in your school as well. I have a copy of it here, just a little picture of it, of how it goes. Well, let me explain how this goes. It's a day, right, in the classroom. In the end, at the end of all 40 lessons and the stories and whatnot. And what the students have to do is they listen to you giving the commands in this one. They will read commands, they will write commands. It'll test lots of skills, lots of language skills. Let's start with listening performance, what I call listening performance multiple choice. And you have to make a difference here because there's another kind of listening performance, and this one is multiple choice. What is it? You choose one of the stripes from 7 to 11 to 12 and read 2 commands in each row. So we have row A, B, C, D, and E. So you read 2 commands in the row, and students have to mark the ones you called out. And they have to make a copy of that. You have to make a copy of a cartoon stripe to every student, and then one for yourself to be the key. Because then you're going to mark it here on yours. Then you're going to check on the student's sheet later if they actually did it the same way you marked here. So that's listening performance. Then we have writing performance, which is this one. In this one, you have to get command chains. Don't confuse command chains with those with these ones here, which are lesson stripes. And these are commands. You see, they're different. Here you have the numbers. Here you don't have the numbers because the commands go in a sequence. It's a command chain. So you choose one of the chains from 7 to 12. It must be from 7 to 12 because then these are the most advanced ones. And the students write out what they see in the chains. So the teacher chooses, again, you have rows A, B, C, D, and E. And the teacher chooses 2 rows. And the students write out what commands are in those. So if I said the teacher chose rows B and D, so students go on the back of the worksheet. They write, B, stand up and walk to the board, point to the board. They have to write everything that they see in the pictures. Okay, the whole chain, B and D. It shouldn't be hard. Then again, don't confuse this with listening performance multiple choice. This is just listening performance. What is it? The teacher writes out a list of 10 commands, mixing all from all the lessons, kitchen, professions, and all sort of stuff. All sort of words and all the words that you taught during the semester, during the year, actually. Then, and individually, you give these commands to the students. And you need to make a copy of the commands for each student so that you can mark on the teacher, on the student, on your sheet. Like you have 5 students, you have 5 copies. You're not going to give them the copies. You're going to stay with the copies. But for each student, you're going to make the marks on the copies for each student. You're going to write the student's name, and then you have the list of 10 commands, and you give the students the commands. And you take your notes by marking the words they don't get or any extra notes that can assess his understanding of that command. For example, let's say I give the student this command: go to the kitchen and bring me a knife. But then the student goes to the kitchen but brings me a plate. So I will highlight the word knife, right? And I'll put a mark on it, such as MS, which means misunderstanding. That in this sentence, he misunderstood the meaning of the word knife. And he did not bring me a knife. He brought me a plate. So then I could already take some points from him because of this single mistake. It depends on, maybe it was just a slip. You have to figure that out if it was just a slip or if it was a mistake, right? So that's listening performance. Then you have reading performance. Again, you have another list, not the same list. This is another list of 10 commands, 10 other commands. Then from the listening performance is different commands. And then in class, the students will get the copy of the commands, read them, and perform them. So let's say there's a list of 10 commands, and one of the commands, the first one says, go to the door and open it. So it's written there. So he says, he reads it out loud. Go to the door and open it. And then he goes to the door and opens it. Well, you need to put all the props and stuff into the right place because you will be only watching the students performing it as you take the notes. Which means that you must have one copy of what you hand out to the students. You have one copy and just one other copy, which is going to be like the master copy for everybody. But then one copy for each student, for you to keep so that you can take your notes as in the listening performance section. So you give one copy of the 10 commands. The students are reading and you have another copy, but this copy is related to his performance. Then let's say go to the door and open it. And so he goes to the door, but he doesn't open it. So I go ahead in my sheet, I mark open it there and mark it as like misunderstanding or did not complete it. Could not understand it. So you could you have to have a copy for 20. You have 20 students. That's not possible. But anyway, you have 20 students, so you make a copy for the 20 students. But then just one, so it means you're gonna have 21 copies of these 10 commands. 20 for one of each student and one for them to read. Okay. Then you have writing pair work. Writing pair works like this. You choose one of the picture description sheets. This is right on the back of the TPR homework book, and you hand out to each pair. And while you are working with the individual tasks, they will be working together on that task. They will be working together on describing the pictures. This is the picture description sheets. I'm going to show you one example of the picture description sheets right here. Here it goes. Is an example of the picture description sheet. So the students have the picture and they can write anything about it. For example, look at that fish. The fish is swimming in the water. The fish is fat. The fish the fish is ugly and too small. I would never eat a fish like this. It's too, they can just write anything about that picture. They will be doing that in pairs outside the classroom. And that's when I come and talk about what are the individual tasks and what are the group tasks and the pair tasks. So when the students come in for the test, you are going to, in class, like you're going to do that in class, in the class time. If you have many students, if you have over, say, 10 students, then you're going to have to use another day in the week. So you cannot do the test if you have 2 hours of instruction, like if you're teaching on a Saturday or you're teaching on a day, you're teaching 2 hours straight. You can do the test with max 8 to 10 students. If you have two classes in a week, like Monday, Wednesday, then you should call out only 4 of the students for one day and 4 of the students to another, because the test takes a little while, especially with the individual tasks. So something you could do as well is call everybody to come in the first day, right? In the first day, and then you do the group tasks with everybody, right? The group tasks, the writing performance, and the listening performance multiple choice. This one, you just give them the sheets and then call out and they mark. The writing performance, you give them the sheets, they write what they see on the paper. So everybody can be doing this together in the classroom. Now, as for the listening performance and the reading performance, you are alone with the student in the classroom. So it's only you and the student. And while you are working with one individual student, they are working outside with their pairs on the worksheets that you gave them, the picture description sheet. Okay, so that's how it's. If you don't understand what I'm saying right now, just rewind the video and then you're going to listen to it again. You're probably going to get it. So it's like this. Start the test with the group tasks, doing the writing performance and the listening performance multiple choice, which is just to give the sheet They mark it. Writing performance, they look at the pictures and write it, so they can do that together. Then the students go outside to do the pair tasks, And while they're doing the pair tasks, one student is called in to do the listening performance and the reading performance, which are 2 individual tasks. Let's see how we weigh these tasks. Well, for the individual tasks, you weigh them with 4 points. For the group tasks, 4 more points. And for the pair tasks, 2 points. So listening performance worth 2 points. Reading performance is worth 2 points. Writing performance is worth 2 points. Listening performance multiple choice is worth 2 points. And their pair tasks are worth 2 points, which gives you a total of 10 points. So let's say that I got that student who made like 4 or 5 mistakes of misunderstanding, like I said. Easy. You can create all their marks and you can create your marks to represent and assess the students and assess what they could do. But taking a look from 1 to 10, how did he do? From 1 to 2, actually. From 1 to 2. From 0 to 2, how did he do? And I give him a grade. 1.5, 1. It's better if you use like round numbers, like 1 or 1.5 or 0.5 or 1, 1 or 2. Just use better if you use round numbers. And so that's basically it. Okay. And after you do all this, after you get all these grades and all the assessments, all the tests and assignments, you should be ready to put the grades on the report card. But this is just for white tests and assignments from lessons 1 to 20 and the personalized stories, that first phase right there with personalized stories. As for lessons 20 to 40, along with the stories from Bobby to the last story in the book. I don't remember exactly right now which is the last story. And until that one, you should we're going to record another video talking about it. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, contact me at junior@shokenglish.com. Take care.